Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Peter K, but you can call me your finance PT, and I'm back with another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be speaking about so you want to start a business. So I'm going to be going through some tips, some practical things that you can do if you want to start a business, or perhaps you might have a side hustle that you really want to start solidifying your idea and just taking it to the next level. So I'm going to give you some practical things that you can do to do this. So if I do look down, I have a little list just to help me to stay on track so I don't waffle on and go off topic. So the first thing you need to actually do, so maybe you've got an idea, it's been in your head for a while, or something that you keep saying to your family or your friends, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna start my own restaurant, I'm gonna create an app, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, whatever that I'm going to do is. And it's important, especially in the beginning stages, for you to focus on the idea itself. So really take time to develop it. Let's go back to primary school or even secondary school where you used to do your spidergrams. This is something that's so basic, but honestly it can help. So what you can do is start by writing your idea down, because I know for a lot of people you have an idea, and where is this idea kept? In your head. It's important to take the idea from your head and put it down on paper or put it in a document, and honestly start to write the idea down. Don't just keep it in your mind, because quite often we forget it, or in our mind it makes sense, but once you start talking about it, it gets a little bit lost in translation. So it's really important to actually start writing it down and thinking about the idea on a more practical basis. So let's say, for example, you have an idea for maybe a clothing store, or maybe, I don't know, there's so many different things you can do these days. You know, back in the day, having a business was always about having a physical space. But today you can have a business online. You can have a business from your bedroom. You know, you don't need to necessarily have a physical space. So it's important for you to actually write it down, like I said, and start to develop this idea. So one of the things you need to be thinking about, okay, so all right, this is my idea. Great, I've written it down. You need to start thinking, you know, what purpose is my business going to serve? Is it a product? Is it a service? Is it going to be something that's going to entertain people? Is it going to be something that's going to educate people? Is it going to be something that's going to make our quality of life better, easier, more efficient? So you really need to start thinking about the purpose. What is that business going to solve? What is that product going to do? What are the features going to be? How is it going to appeal to people? You know, why are people going to pay for this? That's what you need to start thinking about. Why would people pay for this service or product? Because, like, you know, let's be real, there is no unique idea. There's always going to be someone doing something similar to you, but that doesn't mean that just because everyone has a hair salon, as an example, let's say that's what you want to do, you want to open your own hair salon, just because there are already hair salons doesn't mean you shouldn't open yours. It's all a matter of thinking about what makes you different, what makes you unique, and really thinking about why you want to do what you're doing. So like I said, especially in terms of when you're developing the idea, something very important is for you to start thinking about your own why. Like, why am I starting this business? Is it just to make money? Because honestly, if it's just to make money, that reason is not strong enough. Especially, you know, seeing the reality that maybe perhaps in the first couple of months of having your business, you may not necessarily make money. So if your intention, and if the only thing that was motivating you to start this business was being a millionaire or billionaire or just making money, that's not going to be enough to sustain you when difficult times come in your business, because that happens in every business. From small businesses to multinational companies, there will be challenges in your business. So your why, the reason why you're starting this business, has to be strong enough. It cannot just be because I want to be rich. Because if that's the reason, you're going to find you're going to go from business to business. Maybe in 1 year, you will start five businesses and close 5 businesses, because you're going to start and think, oh no, there's no market for this. Oh no, it's not making money. So honestly, it has to be more than just making money. You have to think of, why am I doing this business? Am I doing this business for my family? Am I doing this business because I want to show other people, maybe people from my country, my background, people that perhaps are the little man in life that have started off from humble beginnings, that, you know what, you can do this. Maybe you're starting your business because you want to educate, you want to create opportunities for other people, you want to help people, you want to make people's life easier. So really start thinking about, you know, your mission for starting this business. And like I said, it shouldn't just be because you want to make money, because most times in the beginning stages of your business, you will not make money. So definitely you need to know why you are starting your business, why you want to be an entrepreneur. So that's first and foremost. So as you're developing your idea, start to think about your why. This is very, very important. Next thing, so as you're developing your idea, the next thing you need to be thinking about is, who is my idea for? Who is my business or service for? One thing to note is that you might not necessarily be your target audience, because perhaps, let's say you want to start creating products for children or for families, and you might not necessarily have a family. So you might not fit your target market, but it's important for you to start thinking about who your target market is. Who are your products for? And if you say my products are for everyone, trust me, no, it's not. Everyone is way too broad. You need to narrow it down, and it needs to be specific. So you need to start thinking, who would my product or service help? Or who would my product or service appeal to? These are the people that will be your target audience. And another thing to note as well is it might not be your family. Your family, your friends, your closest colleagues, or people that are closest to you may not actually be your target audience. So that's one thing you need to know straight off the bat. You may have, family and friends that will support your business because it's you and they want to support you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they will be your target audience. So you need to start thinking about who would best, benefit from my services or my products. For example, my services, I can say it's for everyone because a lot of people can benefit from it, but it isn't for everyone because not everyone is willing to invest in their financial education. Not everyone is willing to invest in their personal development. So I can't say that my services is for everyone because it's not. Okay, it is not. So again, when it comes to your product, when it comes to your services, you need to be thinking who would best benefit from this and who would this appeal to. These are the people that are going to be your target audience. So thinking in terms of their age, thinking it in terms of, maybe their profession, where they're from, what their budget is like. Is it going to be for those that are on a tighter budget? Is it going to be a luxury product for people that have more money to spend? So definitely consider these things. And also, whether is it for women, is it for men, is it unisex? So thinking about all these things is very important. And again, like I said, you may even say, oh, it's for everyone, but trust me, it is not for everyone. If your target audience in your mind is everyone, you need to develop it a bit more and start narrowing it down. And one of the ways that you can do this is maybe pitching your idea, not necessarily to people or you can do it to people that you trust and you hold closely, and people that will be impartial and honest with you as well. That's very important. Not just people that will tell you your idea is great even if it's terrible. So having people around you that will be honest with you, that aren't gonna just tell you what you want to hear is important. So maybe pitching your idea to them, seeing what they think about it, speaking to people from different ages, different backgrounds, and really seeing, who best fits in terms of your product and who appeals to it the most, essentially. Who would pay for your product or your service? These are the people that are your target audience. And then you need to start thinking about market research. Very, very important. There's so many different ways to do market research. You can start looking at maybe companies that have a similar product to you that are already doing whatever it is that you want to pursue. Looking at different products that are maybe perhaps similar to what you're doing as well. And something that's important is not just for you to look at what they're doing so you can copy it, because of course, what's the point of doing that? But looking at what are the strengths, what are the weaknesses of their product, and who are their target audience? Because you might find that there are companies that are doing something similar to you, but their target audience and your target audience may not be the same. So looking at those things is going to really help you to narrow down your target audience as well. So looking at, like I said, the weaknesses of their product. Maybe it's the branding, maybe it's the quality, maybe they're selling something that looks good but it's not good for our bodies, or it's something that is very faulty. So really looking at, what are the weaknesses, what are the things that you can perhaps do better. Of course, especially if you're looking at big and established companies, your level of capital is not going to be able to compete with that. But something that you can do differently, something that you can do better, is your customer service, is your customer journey. That's something you can definitely improve, because something that I've noticed a lot, especially with big companies and chains, is that sometimes the customer service is lacking massively. So sometimes the product may be amazing, but the service is terrible. So you really want to ensure that whatever it is that you can do, especially starting off as a small business, I don't like using the term small business, but call a spade a spade. Starting off as a new starter, a startup business, is that working on your customer journey, working on your customer service, and really ensuring that you are treating your future customers and clients with such care, treating them how you'd want to be treated, and not cutting corners. Because a lot of people in business, they cut corners. They use ingredients, they use materials that they know are not good, but because it's cheap, they use companies that they know, they're using child labor and all these sort of things that are very unethical, but they use it because it's cheaper. And I know that having to spend more is not always easy, especially when you're starting up a business and capital is limited. But in the long term, it's going to benefit you so much better. Because if you think about it, especially when you're just starting out, you're making a first impression. Your clients, especially let's say the first time they use your product or your service, you are leaving an impression on them, and you don't want to leave a bad impression. Let's say maybe you're selling food. You don't want people to taste your food and then get diarrhea. I know it's a bit out there, but it's true. You want people to eat your food and be like, whoa, this is good. Because what happens, especially living in the social media age that we live in, people like to take pictures and snap their whole life. So they will snap, you know, the food that they've just bought, the clothes they've just bought, the product they've just bought, this new service they're trying. I see it all the time. That's what people do. We like to show people what we're doing. And it's important that when people are showing what they bought from you, they can show something that's going to be good quality. So many business has been tarnished because of social media, because of bad reviews. So you want to ensure that you're always putting your best foot forward. I know that cutting corners can seem like the easy option, especially when your capital is limited, but it's going to benefit you so much more long term if you do things properly and do your best. Okay, it's better for you to maybe wait a couple of months more before launching your product than to put something out there that is not going to last. It's not going to, you know, bring back good reviews. Reviews are everything. Honestly, it can make or break your business. So you want to ensure that you're leaving a good impression on your customers. So yeah, so like I said, market research is key. So start looking at who your competitors are. You need to know who they are, what they're doing, and start thinking about what you can do differently as well. Like I said, it's not about you imitating, but it's you thinking about what you can do better and what gaps in the market there are that you can fill. And the next thing, start thinking about your unique selling point. Like I did say earlier, you know, there is no unique idea, quote unquote. However, you need to start thinking about what is going to make your business different. I know that there are many finance coaches out there. Prior to doing this, I didn't know any, to be honest, because I wasn't looking for it. But now that I'm doing it, I can see it so much more. It comes up on my Instagram. Some of them follow me. You know, it's more there because that's what I'm doing. However, I have to start thinking about what's going to make me different. You know, what can I provide to people that other people aren't? So yeah, like I said, it's really thinking about what is your unique selling point. Don't always say price. It can't just be price. Think about other things. Is it going to be the quality? Is it going to be the materials that you're using? Is it your brand ethos? What is going to make your product, your service different? What is it going to make it stand out? These are the key things. These are things that are important. When you think about fast food as an example, there's so many different types of fast food. You have KFC, they do chicken. You have McDonald's, they do burger. But you also have Burger King, they do burgers too. And again, you got to look at, you know, why do some people prefer Burger King to McDonald's? Some people say they prefer Burger King because the quality of their burgers are better. Some people may say the total opposite. So it's important for you to think about what's going to make you different. Don't worry and don't be discouraged by the fact that other people are doing it, because other people are going to do something similar to you. It's life. We keep it moving. But think about what is going to make you different. And this all kind of links back to your why as well. Why you're starting this business, what problem you want to serve. Maybe you want to start doing food, like I said it earlier, but you want to do food that tastes good, but is healthy for people. Because there's lots of fast food chains, but let's be real, a lot of them ain't healthy. It tastes good, it looks good. Some are cheap, affordable, but they're not healthy. So maybe you want to start a service that's going to be healthy, that's going to make it easier for people, that's going to remove the guilt factor of ordering takeaway and fast food, but it's actually going to be healthy food. Maybe it's going to be organic, maybe it's going to be, I don't know. There's all these different kind of things. But yeah, thinking about that, thinking about what is going to make you different. Very important. And also thinking about, like I said, what is the experience you want people to have? What do you want people to associate your product, your service with? This is going to be your brand. You know, what is going to make you different? So even thinking about the kind of colors that you would use to represent your business. Colors have different meanings. Google it. I'm not going to go into that, otherwise the video will be really long. But yeah, all those little things make such a massive difference. And then once you started to think more about your USP, you're going to go back, like I said at the beginning, write your idea down. Don't just say, ah, yes, in my head. But yeah, start creating a business plan. Like, that is so important. There's so many people there starting businesses with no clear business plan. Honestly, start a business plan. There are so many templates online. Some are good, some are not, but there are so many free templates online. If you want to purchase my template, I have one on my website, www.pearlsandpearls.com. I'll also put it in the description box. But with the template, it's really going to push you to think about things that maybe you haven't thought about before. It's going to push you to think about, what is the vision for your business? What are your goals for the short term, mid-term, long term? What is going to be the mission of your business? Who is your target audience? Who are your competitors? What is your unique selling point? How much capital do you need to start? That's what we're going to go into next. So once you've got your idea down, let's say it is a product, you start breaking down your product in terms of the features, what it's going to look like, what it's going to actually help people to achieve. Is it going to be something that's going to help people to look better, feel better, have a healthier quality of life, an easier quality of life? Is it going to be an entertainment product? So thinking about all those things, what is it going to serve? Who is it going to be for? You need to start thinking about the logistics. Now, this area is where a lot of people fail in their business, the logistics side of it. You can have the greatest idea in the world. You can have $1 billion, quadrillion dollar, I don't even know if quadrillion is a thing, but you can even have $1 billion idea. But if you fail on the logistics side of things, it will not come into fruition. So yeah, it's important for you to start thinking about the logistics. So thinking about, what is the capital I will need to get started? Of course, if you have an online business and maybe you're selling a digital product, then you know that your expenses is going to be a lot lower. However, if you're selling a physical product or product that you have to make, you have to source, the expenses go up. So definitely thinking about how much capital you're going to need, whether you're going to self-fund your business, whether you're going to start looking for people to invest in your business, whether you're going to go for a loan. Definitely thinking about all of that. So another thing you need to be doing as well, especially if it's a product that you have to make physically, is how much does that cost? How much time does that cost? How much does the materials cost? How long does it take to actually create the product? Because all of these things, you have to factor them in when you're thinking about how much it's actually going to cost. Because perhaps you have a great idea, but right now you need that capital to get started. But like I said, if it's an online business, if it's something digital that you're selling, then it's a lot easier to get that started off the ground without needing a lot of capital. So definitely start thinking about that. And let's say you do decide, I want to go for a loan, you need to make sure you have a solid business plan, because they will want to see one. And not just something you're just making up randomly in your head, but really thinking about the logistics of it, really thinking about the reality, and definitely making sure that your calculations are on point and that they make sense. Because maybe in your head it makes sense, but the person reading it, they need to see that, this is a very viable idea. This can actually happen and be a successful business. So definitely start breaking down your costs. Very, very important. So like I said, how much things are going to cost, your delivery, do you need a specific space? Also thinking about the compliance side of things. So thinking about, what type of business structure you'd want to register your company under. Is it going to be a limited company, a private limited company? Is it going to be a partnership? Do you have a business partner that you're going to be going into this venture with? Are you going to be a sole trader? Honestly, is it going to be a charity? Thinking about all these things is important, because then again, the record keeping you're going to need to keep is going to vary depending on the type of business that you have. So definitely thinking about that. Also, if you're making certain kind of products, there are certain compliance restrictions as well. So thinking about, am I going to need to get insurance for my business? Am I going to need to perhaps have certain tests done on my business? Are there certain qualifications I'm going to need to have? So really taking those things in mind. So let's say you're going to have a food business, then of course you're going to need to have certain qualifications, food hygiene, etc. So definitely do not ignore the compliance side. I know a lot of people, when they start off in their business, compliance is not on the top of their list. It is right there at the bottom. You think, oh, when my business grows, I'll get compliant. No. No, if you start off already being compliant, it's going to be so much easier for you to continue that, as opposed to starting off your business, hoping for the best, hoping, you kind of stay under the radar, and a lot of the time that's when you just want to make money that you do that. So really making sure that your business is compliant, because you don't want to have unnecessary fines, unnecessary issues popping up later on down the line. You want to make sure that your journey is as smooth as possible, because starting a new business, there's always going to be hiccups, there's always going to be challenges, but you don't want unnecessary problems that you can prevent. So making sure your business is compliant is very, very important. Making sure you've got your record keeping on point as well. So keeping track of your business expenses, your cash flow for your business. So everything that's coming in, everything that's going out, you need to be keeping your receipts and all of that good stuff. But we'll kind of go back a little bit, because you don't need to really do that before you actually launch this business. But yeah, so like I said, really just narrowing down your idea, thinking about the capital, thinking about the logistics side of things. And something I wanted to say that's on my little list that I almost forgot is really thinking about, if you have a product, the one thing I'd say is test it out first. Before you put it out there on the market, before you start selling it to people, test it out. Even if you're just testing it out with a small group of people, but obviously using people that are going to be honest with you, people that are going to, you know, not lie to you and just tell you, oh, this is great, but really it's terrible. So you can really get constructive feedback and see areas that you can improve your product as well. So, or even having like a soft launch where you don't necessarily put it completely out there, but you have a small group of people that you want to test your product with. So at least this way, you're going to be able to gather feedback. You're going to be able to gather the good points, the bad points, and know the things that you need to improve on. And also these will help you as well if you're trying to get a loan, because you can actually show, do you know what, I tested out my product on X amount of people, this is the results that I got. And like I said, really making sure that people use are going to be honest with you. The worst thing you can do is have people that are just going to tell you what you want to hear and your product is actually not great. You don't want that. So really making sure the people that you do use are going to be honest with you. Very, very important. So yeah, testing out your product, your service first, and making sure that all the things that you're putting on the tin that you're saying it's going to do, it actually does. Because the worst thing you can do is sell people false expectations. There are so many products I see on Instagram and all over the place, and it's like, drink this tea, you're going to get a flat tummy. And just looking at it, I already know that, really? I'm already skeptical. And of course, you're going to have people that you're telling them this expectation, or if you drink this tea, you're going to lose 10 pounds in 5 days and and all these things, and then people try it and then it doesn't happen, and then you've got a bad customer review. You've got someone now posting that on their Instagram story, posting it on Facebook, telling their friends about it, and then it's just giving you negative publicity that you do not need, especially starting off as a new business. You want to make sure that the first interaction your clients have with your product is a good one. Of course, you can't prevent everything. There are always going to be Debbie Downers, people that, you know, you can't please them for nothing, people that intentionally just want refunds and freebies. However, you want to be able to navigate past those people and always trying to deal with customer complaints in a calm, rational manner. Never stoop down to their level. If someone's being disrespectful for you, oh, that reminds me. So something very important, very, very important, is the mindset side of things. When you're starting a business, you need to prepare your mind for the journey. Because like I said, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. There's going to be moments in your business that maybe you're not making any money, or you're making money, but not at the rate you wanted to. Maybe the projections you had at the beginning of your business versus what you're actually making is so far off, and you're really looking at yourself like, am I really cut out for this? But that's why your why is important. That's why your why in terms of being an entrepreneur, starting this business, is so important, and it needs to be a solid reason. Like I said, just wanting to be rich, just wanting to make money, it is not enough. You know, managing a business that's already established versus managing a startup business, you can't even compare it. Maybe you've done business management in an established business, and now you're thinking, oh, because I've done that, I can definitely manage a startup. It's not the same caliber. Different levels. The intensity is mad. Managing your own business is tough. You are the marketing, you are the HR, you are the client relations, you're everything. It is very, very, in some cases, you're the graphic designer. You're everything. And like I said, that can be very challenging. So you have to really make sure that your mind is ready for the challenges that will come, you know, maybe for disappointments that may come, for issues you may face in your business. Definitely just preparing your mind for anything and just being committed to your cause. So the last thing, like if you watch my previous video about is being an entrepreneur for me, I spoke to you guys about the WW concept that I created of business, and the last W is about willingness. So you have to be willing to invest in your business. This is very important. In terms of starting a business, you have to be willing to invest. If you're the kind of person you don't like investing, maybe you like investing in materialistic things, but you don't like investing in personal development, having a business is not for you, darling or sir. Because honestly, like investing in a business, starting a business, you need to be willing to invest. You need to be willing to invest in the best products that you can possibly buy, of course within your budget. Like I said, you need to be willing to invest in certain things, in also developing your own skills. You need to be willing to invest in marketing, because let's be real, sometimes you just need to pay for certain things and you do get what you pay for. You need to be willing to invest in classes, courses, things that are going to help you to upskill and really be the best to manage your business. A lot of people, they want to start a business, but they don't want to invest. So honestly, as an entrepreneur, you need to have an investor mentality. Now, it doesn't mean that you start, spending money you don't have, but you need to start thinking about, what can I do to make myself better? What do I need to do to improve on, especially looking at your areas of weakness as an entrepreneur? Because once you, for example, start having employees, managing people is not easy. It can be a headache. It can be really difficult. So even, for example, working on your skills, working on your teamwork, working on your communication skills, these things are free, but they cost a lot of effort. Definitely working on those things as well is really important, because yes, you may be starting off as one person in your business, but of course you don't want to stay as one person in your business, because there's only so much you can do if you're one person. If you're sick, nothing's going to get done. So you have to always have this growth mindset of not just looking at your business where it is right now. Maybe your business right now is just this. It's just on paper. It's not, manifested yet. It's not real yet. But you have to have this growth mindset to think that, do you know what? Right now it's on paper, or right now my business is small, but it's going to grow. It's going to get to the next level. And in order for something to grow, you have to invest in it. So you have to be very willing to invest in your business growing. And, if right now, for example, you've got the idea, or perhaps you started your business and you're finding that there's so many roadblocks and you're like, oh my gosh, what do I do next? Perhaps you're even, contemplating whether, thinking, is this really for me? Am I really cut out for this? Honestly, if you have this purpose in your mind, go for it. But you have to be committed to your cause. Like I said, there is a lot of things involved. Don't cut corners. Don't just, okay, cool, I've got my idea, I want to launch it tomorrow. No, take time, especially if it's product based. Do a soft launch, test out your product, test out your service. Even if in the beginning you need to have some beta clients that will just use your product or service for free and give you valid feedback, go for that, because that way you can prevent a lot of unnecessary headaches when you have your official launch. And like I said, really look into the compliance side of things. So looking at, is there certain types of insurance you need to have, qualifications, certificates, all that good stuff, because you don't want to have unnecessary headache down the line. Okay, so I do hope you guys found that helpful. I tried to keep it as short as possible. And if you do need any help with business coaching, I do business coaching services. You can head over to www.pearlsandpearls.com. I will put the link in the bio. I'm thinking of Instagram. I'm not even gonna edit this out, guys. I want you to see the real authentic Pita. I will put it in the description box so you can read it. And if you're a startup business or an aspiring entrepreneur, check out my business 101 session. I think that would really be essential for you, because I go through all the foundations of starting a business, running a startup business as well. So yeah, have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. If you like this video, then like it and leave me some comments below. Do let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see. I will be doing videos on personal finance, business, and personal development, my favorite topic. So have a great day, guys, and I'll be back with you next week, Wednesday.